Hi, my name is Raina, and I am here to go over my week 81 update on Mounjaro. I am currently using Mounjaro to manage my diabetes. I am type 2 diabetic, and I also am utilizing the medication in order to lose weight. And I wanted to discuss my weight loss for the past week. But first, I wanted to get into what my goals are for the year as far as weight loss. I started out at 306 pounds at my highest recorded weight. And with the help of Mounjaro, I have lost approximately 80 pounds. This year, I really wanted to focus on my weight loss. And so I decided to focus on eating right and exercising. And I wanted to lose 30 pounds. That is my goal. By the end of the year, I want to lose 30 pounds. I have been hovering so far around about the 230 pound mark. So I figured within the next year in 2025, if I lose 30 pounds, that would put me in Wonderland and I would be under 200 pounds. So that is what the goal is for this year. So that is losing approximately a half a pound a week. So the beginning of this month, the beginning of January 2025, I hit the ground running. I actually started exercising nearly every day, and my goal was to not eat out, especially not eat out fast food. So that was my goal, was to eat at home more often than not. So far, the first 2 weeks of January, I was very successful with that. And then the third week of January, hit a little hurdle. Life happened and we had situations come up in our lives that kind of derailed my progress. And now I am here trying to pick up the pieces and put it back together again and get back on track with everything. So that is what we are doing this week. Currently, it's the last week in January. So I want to go over what my weight loss was or wasn't. So last week at the end of week 80 on my Mounjaro journey, I weighed in at 228 pounds. I had gained 1.8 pounds at the end of week 80. And I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling defeated. I was feeling very, I felt like a statistic. Like I felt like I was one of those people who just, gave up and abandoned their New Year's resolution. I think the stat was at day 9 of the year or after 2 weeks of the year that most people give up on their New Year's resolution. And I kind of felt like I fell into that category, but I realized that that's not the case. I didn't give up and I haven't given up and I'm getting back on track. So I'm not a part of that statistic as much as I felt like last week when I was feeling really bummed about the lack of progress that I made. But this week when I weighed in at 230.2 pounds. So for the end of week 81, I actually gained 2.2 pounds. Yes, another gain, but I am encouraged that I'm going to turn this around and get back on track. So that's what I'm planning to do. And let's get into how I plan to do that. So first of all, I kind of wondered, did I set myself up for failure? Did I start out too fast, trying to work out and exercise every day? Was I doing too much, going from no exercise to exercising all the time? And I think maybe that's part of the case. I believe that I need to modify my workout plan and maybe start exercising 3 days a week, maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I need to iron that out. I think that going to 3 days a week exercising and also walking as much as possible is probably a better plan going forward. So that way I'm not overwhelming myself. And so that's the plan from here on out. I want to walk as much as possible and 3 days a week, make sure to get some intentional exercise in. I also realized that the weather played a big part in how I was feeling and not wanting to exercise. And it was very cold for about 2 weeks here. And then after the cold was gone, the rain came. So it was cold and then it was rainy. And now hopefully it's gonna be sunshiny days ahead, and I will not have the weight of the weather holding me back. So 2 other things that I wanted to discuss. I had mentioned that I had some pain going on in my neck. I can't remember which side it was on at the time. I thought it was on this side, but when I looked back on the video, it looked like I was pointing to this side of my neck. And this side of my neck into my shoulder has been hurting me really badly. I thought that I was going too hard on the exercising with the weights because I have 8-pound dumbbells. And I thought that that was causing the pain in my neck. So I decided to lay off the dumbbells, and my plan wasn't to lay off of the working out. And I was just doing other exercises such as HIIT exercises in order to get my workouts in without using weights. And however, the pain continued even after I stopped using the weights. So what I did was really work and massage the muscles in my neck and shoulders. And that has seemed to help alleviate the pain. I put my husband to work and got him to work on those muscles as well. And that helped out a lot. I feel like, I don't know why it was hurting so bad, but I feel like getting it massaged really helped out a lot. I also put some heat on it, and I'm thinking it's just mainly because of the way I've been sleeping. I switched my pillow again. I seem to not be able to find a pillow that supports my neck enough, but I swapped pillows to try to see if that'll help the situation some. And I did wake up feeling a lot better this morning. I think that that will be alleviated. I also have a TENS unit that I didn't even know I had. My husband actually had purchased it a time before when he had some muscle pains. So I think I'm gonna try that out tonight. The last time I used a TENS unit, I did not like it. It wasn't this particular unit, but I felt like the TENS was like, I didn't feel like it was massaging the muscle. I felt like it was just stinging my skin. So maybe, or hopefully this unit is actually better than whatever one I used in the past. That was, I think it was from a drugstore, just like an over-the-counter little rinky-dink TENS unit. So hopefully this one works a lot better. I'll have to report back on how that goes. And the next thing I wanted to discuss is a few weeks back, I mentioned that I was diagnosed with ADHD and I was going to start taking my ADHD medication regularly. However, I realized when I would take that medication that I would start to get constipated. I guess it was because I'm not drinking the coffee. I don't think it's the medication that's doing it. I think it's just because I'm not drinking coffee, and I usually drink coffee, and I can't drink the coffee when I take the ADHD medication. So I think that the lack of coffee was causing the constipation. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about that. It's all month long. I probably took the ADHD medicine maybe 6 times out of the whole month. I would like to get consistent with it again. So I don't know if maybe I need to start taking some magnesium at night. I used to do that and I haven't been consistent with that. I don't know if I need to take some Colace. I think that might be what I try, is to take some Colace. Maybe if I plan on taking the ADHD medicine in the morning, maybe take the Colace the night before in order to get things moving the next day. But I'm pretty regular and I go every single day, and I do not want to go a day without going. So I'm going to have to figure something out and possibly talk to my doctor about it if there's nothing over the counter that is helping with that. But I think I'm going to go with my over the counter options first before I bring it up to my doctor unnecessarily, even though I'm sure she wouldn't mind. But I don't know, I just like to try to take care of it at home. Also, okay, regarding the weights, I mentioned that I had 8-pound dumbbells that I was doing my workouts with for strength training. I actually went ahead and purchased some 5-pound dumbbells. I realized that, the 8-pound dumbbells were probably a little too heavy to get started back working out with. So I was encouraged by Downsizing Diva. She mentioned, a program that she did, and she said I believe she said she used 3-pound weights and 5-pound weights. And it really made me feel like, maybe I should just lower my weights. And like I said, I was having the issue with my neck hurting. So I wanted to definitely listen to my body and not continue to do something that is hurting me or possibly hurting me. I'm still not sure if it was the weights or not. But I went ahead and bought some 5-pound weights. I was looking into them and Target had some on sale. So yay. I love to catch a sale, especially for things that I need, because this year I had already committed to doing a low buy year. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you don't buy anything extra throughout the year. And people make up their own rules for it. You basically buy your essentials and you have different rules for, when you would spend money and when you wouldn't. And for myself, I just decided that I wasn't going to spend money on things that weren't necessities. For example, like extra makeup. I mean, I have tons of, lip glosses and whatnot, eyeshadows and whatnot. So I'm not going to be buying any makeup throughout the year. One thing that I am allowing myself to spend money on is perfumes and body sprays, because I'm just getting into more, perfumes and body sprays and kind of seeing what scents I like. And that is something that I'm enjoying right now, but I do not want to overdo it. I try to stick to Bath and Body Works when they have like $5 or $6 sales, and I buy a few things then. And I also try to get different dupes or similar scented perfumes or body sprays to name brands, so that I'm not spending big money and big dollars on name branded perfumes. So that is something that I am allowing myself to spend money on. But I realized that I was maybe taking things a little too far with not spending, because I was trying not to buy things that I thought were wants instead of needs. For example, like the weights that I finally decided to purchase, I think I just felt like that was a want, but if it's going to help me with my health and to build strength and strength train, I need to go ahead and purchase that type of thing. It's not a want, it's a need at that point. So I definitely feel like reevaluating my wants and needs is going to help my budget, but also help my health goals. So I did invest in some 5-pound dumbbells, and this morning I actually did a workout with them. So it came out really good. I got back on the train of working out, and I just feel like I felt alive. Like afterwards, I was like, I feel so alive. And this is how I want to feel. Like I want to feel alive every single day. And I know I'm probably not going to work out every single day, but I love that feeling. I do not want to forget the feeling of how I felt when I worked out. Yeah, I just want to feel like that all the time. So hopefully I can add more movement into my daily routine and walk more, exercise more, feel alive every day, hopefully. One more thing before I wrap up the month of January. I had a question about my A1c. I am type 2 diabetic. My A1c on Mounjaro has been great. I am currently on the 7.5 milligram dose of Mounjaro. I decided to stay at that dose because my A1c is managed at that dose. When I started Mounjaro, when I first found out I was diabetic, my A1c was a 10. And that was in June of 2023. June 2023, my A1c was a 10.0. 2 weeks after I found out that I was diabetic, I started Mounjaro. By February of 2024, my A1c had dropped to 5.5. And in June of 2024, my A1c was 5.3. And my latest A1c that I had was in October of 2024, and it was 5.4. So I'm really glad with that progress. Going from a 10 A1c to 5.4, which was my latest, that's a big improvement. I'm really glad that my A1c is remaining steady. I have another appointment coming up next month at the end of February. By the time I post this, it'll probably already be February. But at the end of the month, I will update with what my A1c is. Again, I think that it's going to be even lower than it was last time. What was it? Last time it was 5.4. I think it's going to be lower than that. I don't feel like I've had, I feel like I've cut out a lot of carbs and I don't eat nearly as much sweets as I used to. I've been staying out of crumble cookie. I'm so proud of myself. So I think my A1c is going to actually be lower this time. So we'll see. So to wrap up my weight loss for the month, this month my start weight was 232 pounds. My ending weight, 230.2, which for the month is a loss of 1.8 pounds. So even after all of that, I am still at a net loss. So this month has not been a total loss. That is not actually putting me on track for losing 30 pounds for the year, but we have time to make it up. So I'm going to continue to work on that and make sure that I'm exercising when I can as much as possible and not eating out as much as I have been. So that is the plan for the rest of the year, I guess. That's the plan here going forward. I'm going to continue to meal plan, make meals at home, and also exercise as much as possible. Emphasis on the exercising all the darn time. It sounds exhausting, but it feels so good when it happens. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Everybody have a good day and let me know how your goals are going for the year. How are your New Year's resolutions going? Are you sticking to them? Have you wandered off the track? And if you have wandered off track, how are you going to get back on track in order to reach your New Year's resolutions? Let me know down below and I'll see you next time. Bye.